Ons sit hier in Kamfersdrift, net in die woude buitekant Kamfersdrift hier in George, en dit is so 'n pragtige lentedag dat ek nie kon help om met Geoff Tribe hier te kom sit en gesels nie. Ons sit hier so by 'n stroompie, wat ek nie weet of julle kan sien nie, maar dit is regtig mooi hierso. En dit pas want ek wil graag met Geoff gesels oor van die kleinste goed in die natuur, maar ook van die soetste goed in die natuur. Geoff, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Nou ek gaan met Geoff in Engels gesels, want Geoff is Engels en ons praat mos Engels. Geoff, what are you?
I'm an entomologist.
Okay, en sien dis die rede hoekom ek nie eens dit probeer het nie. A what?
An entomologist. In Afrikaans, it's an entomoloog.
Entomoloog.
Of 'n insektekundige.
Aha, en daar verduidelik jy hom ook sommer. Insekkundige. For somebody like me that doesn't know what the right terms are, it's all about bugs.
Yes. I wanted to do something in farming, but I didn't have a farm, and they told me at Sudara that there's no chance of you ever owning a farm, and they wouldn't take me on as an agricultural student. And so I looked into the prospectus of the different universities, and I saw this thing, entomology, where it's got you're still in the farming district, you're helping the farmers, but it's a practical exercise and not just an academic. Okay. And that's what's appealed to me.
So now you say helping farmers, in what way?
I started off with the dung beetle unit of the Australian government.
Really?
It's the CSRO of the Australians, and they had imported cattle into Australia which were never there before, and what happened is that there were no dung beetles to bury the dung, so the dung would sit on the surface and would attract flies. Okay. And these were flies that came in from northern areas, from Borneo, and they bit the cattle. And what would happen then is that the cattle would ripple their backs and they would not be able to eat properly because of the continual irritation that they had. And they found out that the cattle that were pestered by the flies were losing weight, so they were losing meat. And so they decided to fund it, and where was the best place to find dung beetles? Well, in Africa. Okay. So they started a unit in Pretoria, and that was my first job, and I joined there. And so we had to match up different beetles to the ecology of Australia for the release there. And what was happening is the old Australian salute, they call it, where you're always chasing the flies away. And this is why they had the hats in the old days.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Get away, shoot fly.
And they had those little corks around their hats to chase the flies away.
Yes.
That's all gone now, and it worked.
Okay. So in that way then basically is where helping farmers comes into the picture.
Yes. So that was my first job.
Okay, but now let's get to your passion. A major role of bees are pollination, but then they also create the wonderful sweet honey that we love so much.
That's right.
But then also something that I want to ask you right at the beginning is in Hopefield on the west coast,
yes,
they've got different flavors of honey. Now I've tasted that and it's definitely different flavors. How on earth does that happen?
The different plants produce a different flavor. Here in the Western Cape, it's the Eucalyptus cladocalix. It's known as the sugar gum, and that's the premier honey in South Africa, especially in the Western Cape. But then we've got indigenous plants, like the fynbos. The fynbos is a very dark honey.
Yes, I've seen that and I've tasted it. It's got a very, I almost also want to say a deep flavor.
Yes, some people prefer that over all other honeys.
Okay.
And other people will prefer the eucalyptus.
So now at this stage, you are still located in the Cape Town area. That's also where I've got this, ek het hierdie verskriklike mooi boek by hom persent gekry, mense. So this book is not only something that you wrote, this is your research. And this is specifically, the name of it is Honey Mountain. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's only after I retired, and the publisher here, James Beringer, said to me, let's write a book. I must write the book on something that's indigenous about bees in this country. And then we thought about it. There are manuals out, I know how to actually do the beekeeping. But in this book, I brought in the whole history of the Swartland.
Yeah.
And the honey mountain, the Heuning eindelijk, was first visited in 1671 by Jan Dankwitz on one of his trips. And he traded there an enormous amount of honey with the local people there, the Sonkwa people.
Yeah.
And from then onwards, any expedition going up that way, always that exchanges, bartering system with the local people there.
Well, because they got the honey.
They actually collected the honey.
Yeah.
And it explains there that they perilously climbed these cliff faces and were at great danger to themselves, and they were able to extract the honey.
Because these beehives are literally on the cliffs, in between the rocks.
Yes, but we didn't realize in the beginning, when I first came down to the Cape in 1980, I got a permission. I went up there and I went to the nearest farmhouse and I said, this is the reason I'd like to climb the mountain. And they gave me a permission. And I searched the mountain. I couldn't find a single honeybee, even a bee, let alone a nest of them.
Yeah.
And then after I retired, I met up with bee conservationists who were keen on this. And we went up there and we scoured the mountain again, and we only found one nest deep under a rock that nobody could get hold of. So this wasn't where they were collecting the bees. And then the one farmer who's on the farm called Berg said, he spoke to his workers, and they said, no, it's along the cliff faces on the Berg rivier.
Wow. Okay.
So we went down there, and there they were. Eventually we got 38 hives, but some of them were absolutely magnificent hanging down there, but very difficult to get up. Even to climb up halfway to take photographs, you're sliding down all the time.
Yeah.
They got canola fields all over,
and
now they're visiting the canola.
Yeah.
And they've got a whole lot of exotics growing along the river.
Wow, so that means the honey must be exotically delicious.
And I have tasted it, honey.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Mense, kinders, hierdie onderhoud kan baie lank aangaan. Want dit voel vir my letterlik asof ons net die tippie van die Heuningberg geraak het hierso. Maar ek wil graag vir julle aanbeveel, hierdie boek van hom is fenomenaal. As julle binne in die foto's, die kwaliteit, die geskiedenis wat in hierdie boek vasgevang is, ek sal vir julle sê dit is, ek love dit. Dit is awesome.
Dis die Heuningberg by Potterville. Daar's 'n verskillende Heuningberge. En dis die een by Potterville. Okay,
so kom ons maak seker dis die een by Potterville in die Swartland op die Weskus van Wes-Kaap. En dis waar jy gaan kry. Is this book available if somebody would like to buy one?
It's sold at two places in the Cape, at Kirstenbosch bookstore and at Clark's Books.
Nou ja, toe daai het julle dit. Ek gaan vir julle die besonderhede op die skerm gooi dat julle kan sien waar om hierdie fantastiese boek te kry. Geoff, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our next sweet discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
En vir julle sê ek baie dankie dat julle saam gekuier het. Ons sien julle volgende keer.